Good morning and namaste to those who are in a different time zone, and welcome to our Saturday morning wellness support group. As you all know, this is a part of the wellness group started under the auspices of India Community Center, and our mission is to educate, inspire, and empower. And ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to get a dose of just that with our speaker a little bit later in the program. But to start out with, we are going to invite Jesse Sheehan uh, to bring his tranquil, peaceful, joyful music. Jesse is a jazz professional based in Berkeley, California, and he trained in India for 4 years under Pandit Nayan Ghosh and other masters. And we are very fortunate to have him join us here on Saturday mornings. So, Jesse, it's all yours.
Oh, great. Um, Welcome, everybody.
Thank you, Jesse. That was beautiful as always. It really puts us in that very serene place where we want to be before we embark on a morning session like ours.
Oh, thanks so
Um,
much.
so last week we talked a little bit about using the pandemic as an opportunity to set a reset button for ourselves. And we talked about how there are things that we can control in life and things that we cannot control. And while the immunologists and the virologists are out there working hard to find either a cure or a vaccine for the virus that has taken all of humanity hostage at this time, it gives us as humankind an opportunity to really hit that reset button and reprioritize our lives, our values, our lifestyles, and adopt good, healthy wellness habits. Now, today's guest, whom you will be meeting shortly, really epitomizes what this whole wellness program started by India Community Center is: educate, empower, and inspire. And as you hear about him a little bit later, you will realize that that's exactly what this gentleman has done. And he will share his very motivating and inspiring story with us. Now, to introduce our guest for today, I'm going to invite our co-host, and that is Mr. Dinesh Chandra, who is a transformational guru himself. He has helped countless people, both at an organizational level as well as a personal level, to bring about positive changes in their lives. One of his deep seated beliefs is that each one of us has to take responsibility for our own lives, our actions, our thoughts, setting our own priorities, and then taking the necessary steps to accomplish what is important to us. And that this is what allows us to lead an empowered and enriched, happy life. So, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, here's Dinesh Chandra.
Thank you, Annie. And I welcome you all again. I think most of us know what we need to do. Is that a fair statement? Our bodies always tell us what we need to do. But then what is the challenge? If it's so simple, we know what we need to do, then why can't we do it? Well, we have a default mechanism. And the default mechanism, when we try to wake up in the morning and trying to go for a walk or exercise, the default mechanism says, come on, just sleep for 5 more minutes. Why you are getting up? And then every time we give in to that default mechanism, we are not able to change our habits. So knowing fully well what we need to do, and again and again, you have heard it from so many doctors on our wellness programs, we need to get up, we need to go exercise, we need to eat nutritious diet, we need to sit down, calm ourselves down, we need to do meditation, yoga, we need to sleep well according with the right times. So the question is, why it is so hard? Well, it is to make it easy, we need to really hang out with the right people. So I welcome you all that you have chosen the right people, because today's guest is one of those people. And many people who are attracted to this program are those people who have either changed their lifestyle and they are living in great health and enjoying every moment of life, or they are very keen to do that. The fact that you have made the commitment by showing up and giving a very precious hour in the morning, that tells me that you are definitely committed. So now, in addition to commitment, what else do we need? Well, that's what we are going to find out from our uh, amazing speaker today. And our speaker today is, many of you know him, Shri Chawla, who is a visionary entrepreneur and a founder of Chawla Ventures. He's also known as Health Hero, as many of you in Crack the Wellness Code already know, and who has demonstrated commendable reversal of acute and chronic heart conditions in 2012 with 4 arteries blocked. Not easy, huh? He was able to reverse this condition without any surgery or medical intervention. Can you believe that? And he understood the disease processes and outstanding crisis management with sustained long stretches of sound health based on preventive care techniques, diet, food, and lifestyle modifications, and all you're going to hear from him. Now, on top of that, in 2018, he had another accident in which he sustained head injury. Again, he recovered with his determination, discipline, healthy habits. I can go on. He is chosen as a board of trustee of OPO. He's also executive code organizer for ICC Health Summit and so on. But most important, when you talk to him, you will feel that you're talking to a wise person who is very humble. And what's amazing is that when we were discussing to prepare for this program, we started talking about the purpose. And, I shared totally his purpose, which is he wants to dedicate his life now to helping others heal themselves and be happy and enjoy. Life is meant for us to enjoy every moment of it. So without further delay, here is Shri Chawla. Welcome, Shri.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning to everyone. Um, I am here to share my experiences. Let me see that I'm not a medical doctor. So all the things I have learned from reading things, watching videos, and observing and making experiments on myself. So all ideas given by me are my personal ideas. Before you apply any of my ideas, please consult your medical doctors because everyone is different. We all are different, created. We have to act according to what our constitution, our body is. Regarding me, before I encountered the acute heart problem, I was ordinary person like everyone else. I was working hard. I was trying to make a livelihood. I was trying to enjoy life and things of that nature without giving much attention to what is going on around us. So what is going on around us is very important. Our constitution, our body, our DNA is important. Who we are, how we are come to be at this stage in life, what we eat, how we behave, how we understand ideas, and how thoughts and our communication with the world, it all depends upon the health and it affects our health. So I was relaxed. I became diabetic in 1990, and it was because of my stressful lifestyle. So I was taking diabetic medications, and things kept on becoming bad. And by 2012, doctors told me that I had a very serious heart condition, which needs open heart bypass surgery. I consulted multiple doctors, and all of them were of the same opinion that I must have bypass surgery. There was no other solution. So a date for surgery was set. In between, something amazing happened. My profession, I have been in semiconductor industry all my life. Currently, I'm 75 years of age. So in 2012, I had a commercial building which I own, and the commercial building had a big auditorium. So one Swami came from India, and they rented the auditorium from me for the talk by the Swami. So I was listening to Swami, and he opened up many new avenues and thoughts in my mind that many things are possible. So I asked Swami to come to my home for breakfast, and he agreed. So he came to my house, and I explained him that I was encountering this serious heart problem, and what is your idea? So he started saying, he says, Bacha, you do not need surgery. You must change your lifestyle. You must change your diet, and everything will be fine. So he introduced me with someone in India who ran an organization called S-Vyasa. S-Vyasa is Swami Vivekananda Yoga Institute that's located in Bangalore, India. So I decided and I went there. I lived there for about 45 days. In 45 days, I found remarkable changes in my body, in my medications, and all that. And then I kept wondering, what was that which changed? Because I was living in a lifestyle which was stressful. I was living a nice lifestyle. It was not easy for me to abandon that lifestyle and go do something else. When I went at this organization, Aishwasa, I was away from the stress level. I was not communicating with anyone. I was not watching my computers and doing things generally I would do. I was doing yoga and meditation entirely and relaxing, walking and doing other healthy things. So this behavior, this change in lifestyle brought new ideas to me that what is possible. So after 45 days, when I came back to USA, I found myself quite different than what I was. So what did change? What was the change? The change very first was the diet, because diet is a very important aspect of our body. We eat for living, but we also eat for our good health. So the food can be medicine. If food taken properly, it can heal our bodies. It can create a very healthy body. So slowly and slowly, in about 2, 3 months, I found that my heart condition changed abruptly, which was was not able to understand what was going on. So slowly and slowly, I was going to my medical doctor, who was renowned uh, heart expert in Silicon Valley Bay Area, and he found changes in his test results. So while this thing was happening, I found some changes happening. Initially, when I was going to doctor and discussing about my test results, about my medication, and about what I was doing, and slowly, doctor changed his attitude towards me, and he was asking me about himself. This
Sri,
is
I have one
amazing.
question. Sri, I have one question. What did you change in your diet? What were you eating before, and what did you start eating after?
This is a big question. Now, what diet is? Diet, we human beings are programmed to eat everything which is plant-based. If we eat plant-based, healthy, organic, fresh food, our body would remain optimal. We would get the nutrients which we need. Now, the nutrients, in other words, in our Indian Hindu culture, is prana, which is pranic shakti. Now, the pranic shakti and prana comes by eating fresh, natural things. By eating factory produced processed food, we could never have pranic shakti, because that food loses its pranic shakti when it is produced in the factory in mass quantities.
So, Shri, you do not eat any factory produced things? You only eat fresh?
Well, that is a difficult question. I try to. So, everything in our life, we need to try. We need to try to go towards healthy habits rather than unhealthy habits. It is not possible that 100% we could be right. But even if we are 90% right, it is a good attempt. If somebody tries and he's 25% right and 75% on the wrong side, it's okay. It's at least he is going on the right road. The
Okay,
road
so
of
in the
success.
morning, when I have this urge with my coffee to have either the donut or a cookie or anything sweet, or some stuff loaded with sugar, did you used to have that before, and how did you overcome that feeling to addiction to sugar?
It took some time because it needs a change of habit. It needs to change of reprogramming our mind. Uh, Drinking coffee or drinking tea, it's okay. It is not bad. But the other thing, the donut and something which is full with sugar are produced in a factory environment as a processed food, we have to avoid that. Rather than that, we can have fresh juice. We could have vegetables. We could have some fruit. We could have things which are natural rather than eating something which is produced in factory.
Were you able to make a cut totally? What would you recommend if someone is having hard time giving up that morning addiction? What is your recommendation? Should they go attend a program for 30 days, 45 days? Or is there a program nearby? Like I'm aware of, there are several programs in California. There is one in San Diego. There is one right here in our neighborhood. So there are many programs. Is that what you recommend? Or if somebody doesn't want to take 30 days off or a month off or 45 days off, what would you recommend? How can I change my habits?
As I said before, it is all the programming. How do we program our mind? What do I tell ourselves? Before we communicate with the world, we need to communicate with ourselves. So, what do I tell myself? We tell myself that this is good for me and this is bad for me. So we have to decide that what is good for us and what is bad for us. And every human being has an instinct. He understands what is good for him.
But
So whatever is good for him.
Okay. I want to push you a little bit more here, because many of my friends say, what's the point in living life if I can't drink my alcohol or if I can't eat my sugar? What's the point in living? I mean, the whole purpose is to enjoy my taste. And what good is it if I give up sugar and if I give up processed food and junk food?
I think in life, the best thing is happiness. If we are happy by doing a practice or doing an action which can not bring health but can bring unhealthy body situation, it's okay. I would say that's okay, because being happy is also very important. Our optimum, any religion, every expert in the world would talk about happiness, because if we are doing something and we are not happy, so it's not going to help us. So we have to be happy. We have to be happy. Now happiness would come. We need to make research. We need to find out that what we are doing, is it really healthy? We have to listen to programs, and we have to understand what some people are saying, because people are talking about their experiences, about the expertise they have created, about the research they have done. So it is very important that we go from the bad habits of eating processed food to the good habit of eating healthy food.
I totally agree with you here, Sri. In fact, most of my friends who have been able to make a change, they are able to make a change by listening to a lot of programs and what we call in Hindi as satsang, hanging out with right people, listening to people who have really changed themselves like yourself. And I think one thing I found, people, either if they take a break and go for a couple of weeks, there's a Vedigram in Coimbatore. There are many places where you can go and you can really see the impact. For 4 weeks, if you ate plant-based food, you can see the impact to your body, all like you have seen. Now, those people who cannot do that, sometimes I think if you cut down in half, I think that's another formula. So sometimes it works for people. If you take two spoons of sugar, cut down to 1 spoon. If you take 1 spoon, cut down to half. I think taking what I call it a baby step. If you take a baby step and if you begin to see the success with it, then I think it begins to motivate you. The more you see the success. Now, there's one more thing. A lot of eating, especially the late night eating, people call it as the emotional eating. You are stressed out, you're upset, you come back, you're worried about finance, you're worried about relationships. Now, there you go. And before you are aware, you go out to that pantry and you grab chocolates or you grab cookies, and before you know, you have picked out. Now, like you said, it gives us instant gratification. But if you think about it, in the long term, it does not give us satisfaction. Because as you are eating, you are satisfying your emotional needs. But right few minutes after that, you begin to feel guilty. And you begin to feel bad, and your stomach begins to get bloating. So I totally agree with you that we have to pay attention to the long-term benefit. My second question is, how did you discipline, or what did you do to motivate yourself to do yoga or exercise?
Discipline is, again, a long-term process. Discipline does not come in one day. We have to practice, and we have to practice. We keep on telling ourselves that what is good for us and what is not good for us. But at the same time, we have to remain happy. Please understand that discipline is not that we are in jail or somebody is dictating us that you have to do this or you have to do that. We can tell ourselves, and we cannot keep on dictating ourselves, because our body is free. It is a free will. So we need to bring habits within us which are healthy habits. And this is a slow process. It takes time. In my case, as I said, it took months and years. It is not a one-day program. Even today, I'm disciplining myself. Even today, I'm not saying I do everything which is 100% right, but I try. So
Sri,
trying is a good attempt.
Sri, you mentioned that you were pretty stressed out before. When you came back after the program, what did you do to manage your stress? You're always smiling now. Every time I've seen you, you're always calm. You don't get upset. You don't get angry. You're very humble. You're very positive. How did you manage your stress? And do you still have stress in your life? Because I know you run your companies, and so I'm sure there is stress, right? But how do you manage
A
it?
lot of stress because the stress comes from external sources. See, stress comes from internal source, which are we ourselves, and how we think, how we process information, and how we communicate, and how we put our ideas and thoughts into action. So it can either create stress or it can create happiness, or we can reduce the stress. If somebody has, doctor told him you have a cancer. Now, what do you expect of him? Expect him to be happy and just, but he can find solutions that, yes, I have so much life left. I can bring happiness in my life. I can bring happiness to somebody else's life. We live in a family environment. In family environment, we have to give happiness to our spouse. That's our very first duty. And spouse also has to understand that they have communicate in a happy communication, because there should be happiness at every step of our life. Our every minute of our existence, we encounter challenges. The challenges come when we are driving. Challenges come when we are communicating to people, and you are in any business setting, or you are any setting where whether you are an engineer, you are creating something, you are communicating with your colleagues, you are communicating with the world. So stress can come at every step. We have to look when we communicate with our work or we communicate with other people, we have to see good things in them. We do not have to judge people with our pre-notions that this person is bad, this person is good, this food is good, this food is bad. So, what is our relationship with things? What is our relationship with the world, with the work we are doing? So, if we bring happiness, if we look good things and keep our goals and ideas, which we can really, really fulfill. So if we can fulfill our goals and ideas that I want to fulfill this is the project date, I need to finish my project. And you really cannot finish it after working very hard. So you have to give it up, and you have to, because your body and your mind, they have to work together. We cannot work separate. It is not possible that everybody we make unhappy and we became happy. That's also not possible. So we have to take everyone along with us in this happiness project.
Shri, one more question. You were a great success you created financially, and you could have easily simply lived your life and enjoy with your family. What made you come to this purpose, which you shared with me, that you want to dedicate your life to help people find that happiness? What was there an event in your life, or was that a particular moment you said, well, rest of my life I want to help people heal themselves? What happened? How did you arrive at this purpose? And when did you arrive at this purpose?
When we talk about help, actually, by helping others, we are helping ourselves. Anybody who thinks of helping someone else, he's actually helping himself. If you look carefully, every time we donate something, we are actually donating ourselves, because we are bringing happiness to ourselves. If our idea is really to help someone, if our idea is not to help, we are just doing it to show off, then it's not going to help. We have to help from our heart. That help could be giving somebody financial support, or giving somebody mental support, or making somebody really happy. By just talking to someone in a smiling way, and making him happy is a very good giving, I think.
Sri, here is a question from one of our participants, Chris. He's asking, can you please share your diet, how often you eat and type of food?
Okay, as I said earlier, that I try, and our objective in life is to try. And we do not have to set goals which are very difficult to achieve. If we are financially strapped, suppose, and we cannot buy things in you know any way because everybody has a budget and everybody lives within the budget. But we have to try what is we can buy. What should I buy for my grocery? What is that which will help me? So we have to depend. We have to buy things which are healthy, which are natural, which are grown out there in field, and they are ripened by sun, because sun is the primary source of energy.
So where do
So
you get these things? Do you get it from Whole Foods or do you go to farmers market or?
actually, the best place to buy things is a farmer's market.
Okay.
In India, we used to have mandi. Here
Right.
we have farmers market where farmers come and bring their produce.
Okay.
So that is the freshest produce we can buy.
So please describe your one day. What do you start your day, the whole day, what do you eat? Can you describe it?
I wake up mostly about 6:30 in the morning, and I would have a cup of tea with no sugar, but yes, little milk. I would have breakfast by about 8 o'clock. Sometimes I'm delayed, 8:30, 9 o'clock. I would have lunch by 12 to 1. I would have some snack at
Now,
about
what
4
would you have
o'clock.
in your lunch? What would you have in your lunch?
I'm also a chef or cook myself. I can cook my food, and I do have
What did
my
you-
family.
Give us an example. What did you have yesterday for lunch?
Yesterday, I had one substance which is not very healthy, but I try to make it healthy, which is potato.
Okay.
Now, potato is very universal and it can be converted into anything. So I had a petter which was boiled and softened already, and just added few spices, dry spices, and olive oil. I produced a dish which was fantastic. And
How
I
about
had,
breakfast? What did you have for breakfast?
for breakfast, I have papaya. Papaya is again a very fresh ingredient. I had some strawberries, and I had cereal.
Okay.
So cereal, sometimes with sugar, it contains sugar, and it is a product which I said is a process. But we can be intelligent how we eat things, how much quantity we eat. Quantity is very important.
How about steel cut oats?
Steel cut oats are very good.
Yeah.
They are very good and very good for our health. Yes.
Right.
And
what did you have for your afternoon snacks? What did you have?
Afternoon snack, I have some, I would say, bad habits. So I like something which is a little giving a kick, spicy, little spicy. And then I had a cup of tea.
What was it?
I had some fruit also at the same time.
Was that Haldiram's Chawla or Haldiram's?
Yeah, I love it. I think Haldiram is pretty good. But we have to, again, control our quantities. We have to control quantities, what we eat and how much we eat. Haldiram doesn't mean that we bring a 1 kilo bag and eat it. It doesn't mean
One of the things I found, if you can just fill your home with fruits, and the fruits you love, like if you love lychee or if you love mangoes, if you, whatever you love.
I love papaya. Papaya, I think the best fruit in America which we can get here, which comes from Mexico. And it is very good in taste. Yes.
What did you have for your dinner last night?
Dinner I had, let us see, dinner was a challenging situation yesterday that what we can do. So we had some dal which had produced moong ki dal, moong. So I redid the moong ki dal with little light tadka, and I had with rice. And that was my dinner. That's it.
Okay, so I'm going to open up for all the questions from our participants. I mean, you have been fantastic. And thank you for sharing your.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for asking.
In the time of Corona, I think this is the best we can do. Once Corona is over, then we can get together and have it together. But one
I just
question,
want to jump in for a minute, and Shri, I want to say, thank you for your candor and your honesty, because when you're trying to make these kind of profound changes, sometimes it does become challenging, especially if we are very, very strict. And I think the way that you've described it is very human, because sometimes you do want to cheat a little bit on that diet, but I think what I heard you say is, as long as you do it in moderation, and you are sticking to the larger goals, you can still accomplish your objectives. So I want to say thank you for your honesty and kind of humane approach to this sharing. And before we open it up to more questions, Somnath, who is one of the co-founders of the wellness program, wanted to make some announcements. So we'll let him do that, and then we will come back to questions.
Thank you
So,
very much.
Som.
Thank you, Annie.
Hey, thank you, Annie. Good morning, everybody. And thank you, Shri Chawla ji. I think this was so inspiring. You've always been inspiring us, and good to see you this morning. I wanted to tell you that this is the 50th online session of ICC Crack the Wellness Code. Since we were hit by COVID, it has taken a lot of effort, lot of work to come here. And I just wanted to tell you that this is indeed a big celebration. And also among the participants, I did see Naren Bakshi, who's joined here from Jaipur, because he is not able to travel. So he may also like to just share his good wishes. It's been a long journey.
I cannot see him anymore. I don't know, he disappeared. He's no
Okay,
longer in any of the windows.
so this is the 50th online session after being hit by COVID. And I just want to tell you that keep coming in, keep engaging in our session. We have 2 wellness support groups, which are monthly, which are being managed so well by, Dinesh and Annie Dandavati, and they have been doing a wonderful job here. This is a session for empowerment. But then, as you know, we have other sessions for seniors. We have opened up sessions for the youth, which are run by the youth ambassadors. We also have the usual best practices session going on. So I would definitely request all of you to look up our calendar in the website, which has all the events, okay? And Dr. Sachin Deshmukh is also here. He might just like to put some links there for the next 2 events. We have 2 awesome events. I would request all of you to join. The first one is tomorrow, which is from 6:30, and we are getting back, Alan Goldhammer, who has been with us on lifestyle and diet, and he's going to be telling us some more of his recent research on COVID-19, on the kind of diet and lifestyle that he's been doing. So it's very interesting to hear him out tomorrow. And along with him will be Dr. Naras Bhatt, who's also been researching on intermittent fasting for a long time. So both of them would be a very, very inspiring talk for tomorrow. And then, as Shri Chawla has been saying today, I mean, he's not only talking about the 4 blockades that he had in his heart, but he's talking about mind. He's talking about mind-body wellness, and that's what we really, propagate and try to inculcate among our community. It's the mind-body wellness. So the next Saturday, we have again on mind, we have some very interesting exposition, demonstration of how anger actually impacts your heart and brain. So we'll do some demonstration. We have some very eminent psychologists doing that. And then, of course, we have a very iconic speaker, a TED speaker, Gopi Kalyal from Google. That's happening on the 25th, July 25th, the following Saturday. So be with us, and it's really a joy to see these programs running with so many people, and we are able to impact. And apart from, the usual, segment that we've been focusing on, entrepreneurs, professionals, we're also working with youth and also with the seniors. And I see them so engaged with our program. And of course, we have gone global. A lot of people worldwide are actually attending our events. Some of our events are actually timed in such a way that people from other parts of the globe are able to attend this event. So once again, thank you everybody for making this happen, and so that we could actually come to this 50th online session today. That's a great occasion for us, and I just wanted to share that with you and celebrate.
Thank you,
so much.
Som, and I want to acknowledge all your hard work. I know you're burning the midnight oil many, many, many days. So thank you for that. And Dinesh, there are some more questions if you want to bring.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Som, and thank you, Annie. So let me just kind of sum up. We have heard one wonderful, inspiring story of Shri Chawla, and Shri has also told us that he's taken a very humane approach, not cut and dry. So you have some room to fail sometimes, or I should call it setback. But if you are persistent, and I think once again, three things we summarized so far. Number one, hang out with the right people. So if you want to be healthy and you care for wellness, then you are at the right place, and you are showing up for this hour, which is not easy. Saturday morning, you take an hour to show up here, so we really appreciate, and that's the right step. Second step is whatever you want to do today, just take a baby step. If you wanted to exercise, just go for 5 minutes. It's easy to tell yourself, I'm going for 5 minutes. And lo and behold, that 5 minutes would turn into 30 minutes and 40 minutes. You wouldn't even realize how quickly that will move. So just take a baby step, 5 minutes, cut down. If you have 2 spoons of sugar, cut down into half. And then make sure that you remain part of a community. Now, several questions have come up, and they are basically to do, how do we motivate our family? How do we motivate our friends? How do we motivate others? Sri, how do we motivate others?
Good question. I think we can motivate others by love. That is the best tool we have. We cannot motivate people by giving orders. If we give orders even to children, they will not listen to you. You have to bring them in your confidence, and the best tool you have is the tool of love, the compassion, and you have to express them that why you are saying this. And you apply it to yourself. When you explain to someone, you apply that to yourself. Look, I'm doing this. How about you trying this? How about you try this kind of dish? Or you try this process? Or you try this method? And slowly they will listen to you. If they have in their back of the mind that you are looking their interest, people will listen. People will work. They will accept your leadership. Leadership cannot be given by a whip. You cannot be angry and tell someone, oh, you have to do this. Otherwise, I will give you that penalty or this and that. That doesn't work. What works is the language of love.
Absolutely.
And it's good for your health also.
Absolutely agree with you, Sri. One more thing I find that when you started to change, when people saw you, you were getting ready for surgery, bypass surgery, and now suddenly you are in good health and you are not stressed out anymore. You don't get angry. You are calm. You are peaceful, positive. Isn't that itself a great motivator? Because people begin to ask you, why are you? What has changed about you, right? Is that also a motivator? When you change the whole world. What is your experience on that?
Dinesh, I think we are mirror of what we are speaking. If somebody is smoking and telling others smoking is not good, do not smoke. So that's not a good impact. We have to be, our life has to be example. What we talk, how we behave, this is an example of what message we want to give.
So
before we give message to someone, we have to be an example of that. If we are not an example of that, we're talking about honesty, dishonesty, corruption, and our life is full of that. So how can we give message to someone? We have to be example of giving message. So our life should be a message itself. Whatever we are talking, more than talking, people observe, even animals observe. We have a small dog. I observe how he behaves with us, how he behaves with me. So inspiration and message has to be given by adopting those things in our lives. If we have people observe, my family observes what I eat, how much quantity I eat, how I am, what I talk, and how I talk. And the human mind understands all this. So today I'm conversing all of you. You can see me. You can see how I'm conversing. What's my style of conversing? And do I really mean what I'm saying? Or am I just giving something? So I wanted to be, you asked about habits. And I say, yes, I don't have 100% control on my habits. Yes, I wish I had, but I do. Let's talk about finances. Let's talk about business, money. When our mind is in peaceful mode, we can make good decisions. When we are angry, excited, upset, and all that, we cannot make good decisions. For
Shri,
good
was there a
decision
point in
making,
your
we
life?
have to be. We
Was there
have
a
to
point in
be.
your life
Yes,
when you were angry?
I'm
You
sorry.
you used to be angry?
Oh, of course, of course.
How did
People become angry because they don't get what they want. You see
how
why
did
that people become angry, and people were, when they were growing up, they were not treated well by their parents,
so how
especially
did you
mother.
change?
So that's why they are angry, and they don't forget their father. People are angry with their father. People are angry with the government. People are angry with everyone else, their boss. I mean, you can be angry at anybody. You can be angry at how the weather is bad, and at the same time, you can say how weather the good weather is. So we have
So
to
how,
look the
my
good
question
side of everything.
my question is, how did you change? What
Change is
changed?
mind. Change is nothing but our mind. At our mind, what we perceive to be truth, what we perceive to be happiness, what we perceive to be our level, everything should be done in moderation. Doing, if we are drinking alcohol and it is in moderation, it's maybe okay. I'm not saying, there are many bad things people do. Question is, if it is in moderation and they are conscious about it, they can correct it. Everyone is intelligent. Everyone, he knows what's best for him. So we have to do what is best for us. And if we are in settled mind, in peaceful mind, we can make good decisions. You were talking about financial condition. All my life, I worked almost in semiconductor industry, 50 years. And last 10 years, when this transformation happened with me, my financial condition kept on changing. It just kept on changing itself. I didn't do anything about it. I was just making peacefully the decisions. And those decisions were sound decisions. So our decisions have to be made in peaceful way. I go to sleep within 5 minutes, I'm asleep. And I sleep 7 to 8 hours.
How much exercise do you do? What did you do?
Not much. I should be doing more. I should be doing
What did
more
you
than I do. Walking is the best exercise. Then in our house we have the treadmill. So treadmill is another good exercise. I do yoga meditation also. So that's about it.
now, Sri? We have about 10 minutes, and I'm going to invite anyone who would like to share their story if they have something to share, where they changed, or any observations anybody had. You have been wonderful, very authentic, and a very inspiring. I know that you had a dream to be able to help more people. Sometimes I wonder, why can't we create something here in the redwood forest? Hopefully, a point would come where people, rather than going to Coimbatore or going to Bangalore or going anywhere, right here in Bay Area, and we have wonderful people like Dr. Sachin Deshmukh. I mean, I attend his class every morning. You know,
Yes.
he teaches yoga, and then there are experts here on almost everything you talked about. So why can't we create something here? Any views on that?
There are possibilities, and lots of possibilities.
And
As
why?
I told you, there is a place here called Holy City. The whole city is called Holy City. It has got its own zip code, and that city was for sale. And I don't know, it's sold, but still it would be available. So there are multiple places where, good such situation can be done. Yes.
Well, while we cannot meet in person, at least we can create a wellness garden virtually. And I think of these Saturdays as a wellness garden where we invite people like in our backyard and come
Yes.
chat with us, talk to us, share your stories, share your successes. So that way we can all be inspired and we continue to inspire other people. I think the simple fact that simply by working on your mind, you can really change your health, you can change your wellness, you can change everything about you, your relationships, and it has nothing to do with outside circumstances. So that is the amazing secret.
Dineshji, the outside circumstances should not control us. They should not influence us in our decision making. We should make sound decision based on who we are and what we want as outcome. We can create heaven within where we live. Our abode could be heaven if we desire so.
Well, absolutely. And here is Brinda Dalal. She just mentioned that Holy City is 10 minutes drive from where she lives. So Brinda, when should we plan our next visit to Holy City?
We can do anything.
Anytime. It's really a beautiful place out here. You have very long views towards
Yes.
the ocean and towards the redwoods.
Yes.
It's a very calm and peaceful location. It's about probably 15-20 minutes from Los Gatos, so it's a very
Yes,
easy
exactly.
drive, but when you get here you feel like you're just out of this world.
Would you give us pakoda and tea?
Let's make a chai shop. We can do-
If Shri is coming, then you got to have some fruits.
Definitely.
Anyone else would like to make any story sharing or any comments? We still have a few minutes.
I guess Naren is going to join. Naren Bakshi.
Okay, Naren, please share your views.
I think he haven't logged on yet, but he said he is.
Sachin, go ahead. And I know you are also very keen on, Sachin also shares the same purpose, helping people out, and he does an amazing job in his morning yoga class, which I attend, and I encourage everyone to attend. Okay, within a couple of months, I'm talking to all parts of my body now, my shoulders, and they understand me and we communicate very well. So Sachin, our community is growing. There are more and more people who would like to see a place where people come for healing. Any thought?
Right. Yeah, that's our vision, to have a integrative wellness center, which is more like a home where people can come and they have access to all things Shriji was talking about. And usually I host retreats once a month in the monasteries. I take people to different experiences, and it's amazing transformation. So I show them how to juice, how to cook properly with Ayurvedic patterns for their own body types. We always have some music, meditation, yoga, and through that, means we have included so many people in the process who can transform their life. What works well is to remind people how simple it is. That eating and taking good care of yourself is not a chore. So I'll give you a simple example that my grandfather, when he said he's going to leave his body soon, I asked him, how should I remember you? What can I do? And he said, will you really do it? And I said, yeah, of course I will do it. And he said, how about 2 walks, 2 meals, and 2 meditations per day? And I said, yeah, done deal. I was like, that's the simplest thing you can ask me to do it. But when now
Sachin, there is also a request for you to post your link for the yoga. And I noticed,
okay.
Yeah, please post it on chat. And also I notice Naren is here. And Shri,
yeah.
Before I give it to Naren, I want you to make the final comments. What can we take home with? Whatever you have learned, Shri, please tell us what can we take home with?
The one word I would say, it is possible to be healthy, it is possible to be happy, and it is possible to be fortunate. We can achieve all the goals we have in our life right here. We must have determination, we must have vision to execute, and we must have discipline.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for taking
Thank
the
you very much for listening to me. Thanks.
You have been a wonderful, inspirational speaker, and we look forward to collaborating with you. And we'll sure go to Holy City and have chai and fruits and pakoda with Brinda, and anyone else who would like to join us.
Naren is here.
Our community is growing, and think of these Saturday mornings as the wellness garden.
Yes.
And you can come, you can, smell roses here, share your stories, listen to other people's stories. And I'm very, very thankful to Naren Bakshi.
He's here, Dinesh. We have some minutes to go, so we have time. So,
yes, so
Naren is back.
I'm thankful to all three of you for starting this organization. And here is Naren Bakshi.
So just wanted to say thank you to, first of all, Dinesh, you and Annie, to continuously do it again and again, week after week. And of course, Sachin, who has been there also. But I must remind all of us that Shri, this all started on July 8th, 2018. So you were with us, and all of this happened also because you and I were both considered as health heroes. But now I call you super health hero because you have gone through not once, but second time was even more difficult. Second time was more difficult. So the only request I have of you, which you are following today, in everything else you are doing, don't forget that you are the person that actually, honestly, after the first seminar, asked me to really think that how do we make it sustainable? How would it work? And that is your push. So Som, I must remind you that it is Shri whose push got me to say we must have somebody, some anchor who's going to keep it together. So that's why Som joined us, and you have seen the benefit.
Yes, he's wonderful.
So he has done a phenomenal job. But what I'm saying is the root of this was you. You said, Naren, you cannot continue like this. You have to have somebody who is going to be the root. So your wisdom was very useful. And now I'm hoping, now that you are willing to give back, you'll give back in more than one way, and continue to support this, because now it is a movement. And the final thing I want to say is I'm so delighted, although I'm locked down in Jaipur, but I've used this opportunity to bring CWC under the name Pehla Sukh in India. Our second big event is happening tomorrow. First event was last month, and second big event is happening tomorrow, and it is about mental health and stress. You have been talking about stress right now. That's our topic. So what started there for NRIs is now hopefully impact millions in India as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Naren. Thank you.
Anyone else would like to say this is the last minute now? Anyone, any comment before we say bye?